whether or not you have secret accounts doesn't mean anything unless someone can actually prove it, because the court needs to just rule based on the evidence presented in front of them.
Right.
Let me see if you all can see what I'm typing up, because this is kind of went a different direction. It's
But I got another one for him just to keep it light. G Money.
you all see
So
the screen now?
what is your take on this being a loan?
That's the dumbest. That's the dumbest shit in the world.
I had
Um,
to forgive me. I like messing with it with that stuff.
that may be your issue. Has the evidence is it reversible? But that is supported by reasonable evidence. Yours is not. See, unless it's devoid of competent evidence, and for any reason supported by the record. So, if you can show that the evidence is not competent, and that's a legal standard, um, I'm trying not to go back to the person that I tried not to say anything about, but some of these issues are just like they're facial. Like, I can look at it and say, okay, well, how did you get? I see how you got this number. I put it inside the chat room. Your final order. What was it based upon?
Right.
Hold on a second. Order. Daily and these math guys are much more easy at narrowing the question, but you're trying to get to what can allow. It comes back to the same thing. There you go.
Yeah, well, you are pretty much good at narrowing the issue too. That's why I learned it, because now I learned basically my issue is custody and child support, and then there's different avenues you can use to address those.
There's how you can reverse it right there. Yeah, you can. It's a manifest injustice occurs when the court issues. Let's try this right here.
Hopefully, if we pull up that case law and read it, hopefully it pulls up a statute that we can look to see
Oh,
that
wait.
that there is hopefully no time constraint on that as well.
I try to keep it calibrated here, and then we'll discuss some other things offline. But as when I spoke with David when I first met him, there are certain things, and MJ, I know he's doing something else. Certain things should just jump off the board to a person in these areas, and this should have been one of them. I don't know, but I'm not an attorney. I don't pretend to be one. I don't want to be one. Well, I won't say that way. I don't pretend to be one. I have worked with attorneys. I've worked with a firm, um, and there's certain issues. Like we talk about issue spotting that came up. Are we doing a good job at issue spotting? and these issues are kind of jumping off the page a little bit.
Gee, I understand that sentiment because, I mean, in any profession, I look at it. If I'm a garbage man, I'm supposed to pick the garbage up. If I'm a health code inspector, I go in and check out these places. I'm looking for these issues and I'm addressing them. So, um, I don't know where, because I'm new in this. I don't know where the misunderstanding is, but it compiles so much that it starts to become noticeable to the naked eye. So I don't know how it's not seen unless it's just being avoided.
I think personally, from watching the videos, it's it's crazy to say. I think it's as simple as these entities or forces, they just do not want to admit I messed up.
The
And
views reflected don't represent those of GD
yep,
Naps.
that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say.
No, because MJ pointed me to something, and also Brett and people who are professionals say, go look in ethics. Even Cersei has said it. Go look into the ethics, because they had to take these continuing educational classes that talk about ethics. And when you're in a certain position, you have a duty to point out a violation, even if they didn't tell you necessarily. The professionals or the stewards of justice had an obligation to say, "Hey, this may be improper," and we have to do what's necessary to prevent, as you see, a miscarriage of justice. And my frustration is in, I'm a layperson. I'm still a layperson, no matter how experienced I am. I'm still considered a layperson. I can spot some of this stuff off the top, and I'm sure, like Mike, he runs businesses. You run a business. Certain things, just like he said, if this is your job, how do you not recognize this?
Right. And not saying these are your views. Looking back on it, we went after, we went after what they dangled in front of us, which is the financial aspect versus wanting to concentrate on some of the things that, like you said, Mr. Mike, sticks out. At the time, I thought me not being served was a huge deal, and I was instructed it's not due to I missed the 90-day period to respond. Um,
So you're in default.
right.
Yeah. So
It-
with the just for clarity, just so I can understand, just in layman terms, and G, you can help explain this to me. So now that the child is, well, the young lady's 22, that money that's being sought after is for the the adult or the state, or how does that work? Does anybody,
the
you know,
state, the
okay, so the
state
state will
and
collect,
and the adult.
okay, so the
Wait,
state will collect their
wait,
money.
Is it is
what's
this the arrears?
yeah, what's the
Yes,
state? No, but where does the state have standing collect the state doesn't have any standing in your case.
Yeah, no, I believe this is arrears that is towards the child originally. If we're talking, was it 2016 this was established?
Yeah.
That
Now,
the entirety of that amount hadn't been paid.
okay. And you have a relationship? Well, I don't mean to get personal, but I was wondering,
oh, you
is
can.
is there a way, so like if the child is seeking or the state is seeking this on the benefit of the child, does the child have any jurisdiction to step in and intervene
Uh,
for relief? Like this is just
the
me just
no,
wondering.
I like I said, I'm an open book. I'm like I said. So in reference to uh, my daughter doesn't talk to her mother. She does not talk to her mother.
Okay.